Hello, everyone. Welcome once again. My name is Dr. Cosmas Ifeanyi Nwakanma, and I'm giving the next presentation on global research trends on Metaverse. Today is the day 2 of this workshop, the first international workshop on Metaverse and industry, taking place in Kumoh National Institute of Technology, Gumi in South Korea. I will take us through this journey, look at the motivation behind this work, general overview, the approach we adopted in selecting the research works that form the basis for the discussion. Then we look at some of the findings and discuss them together. Then we conclude. Right from yesterday, every one of us can agree with me from all the presentation we have so far, the Metaverse is indeed a trending topic with diverse and conflict definition, diverse and conflicting. In fact, a lot of matters are rising around Metaverse. The sources of virtual and extended reality has motivated the need to go a technology step ahead. You know, all this why the AI speaker, Mr. Simeon, reminded us that virtually everything we want to do on Metaverse is not going to be possible without AI. And we also know that AI application to virtual reality and extended reality or mixed reality became one of the technology that actually led to the buzzword Metaverse. In fact, in the course of my presentation, you will be amazed that even in the research world, some persons just publish works around the buzzword, but if you look at the content of their write-ups, you cannot see Metaverse in it. So in this discussion, in my presentation, we are also going to look at the idea that a lot of investment are actually going on, especially by the big tech companies. And it is expected that by 2025, the facts will be mind-blowing. So if companies are going to invest heavily on Metaverse, if countries are going to invest on Metaverse, if universities are going to invest on Metaverse, if the whole world is going to carry out one or two things on Metaverse, it means there is need to look into what has been done so far or what is going on around the world so far in the world of research around Metaverse. So in my presentation, I'm going to articulate existing research and development works. I am going to use a biometric review approach to identify some of the thematic areas that dominating the existing works in Metaverse. And then we are going to look at some of the open research issues and research directions. By the time we look at these open research issues, we will discover that actually most of the research issues are also already at the chat box. Most of the questions you see at the chat box are open research issues, research directions, things to take home with if you are indeed a researcher. If you have been with us since yesterday, and if you have been going through the chat box, looking at the questions people are asking, and seeing some of the careful ways I have been choosing, or we have been choosing our words in trying to reply, I summarize some of the issues at the chat box into this 14 points. Some persons want to know, is Metaverse a digital twin? Some want to know, is Metaverse virtual reality, mixed reality, extended reality? Some are trying to ask a question, can we fight insecurity with Metaverse? And some persons are concerned, if Metaverse is about avatar and me being in a third world, what happened to my privacy? What happened to intrusion? And yesterday, somebody said, I own a startup. I'm a private businessman. I'm not a lecturer. I'm not a researcher from any university. I'm just a businessman that came to this workshop. How can Metaverse help my business? Of course, we've also seen where some persons say that without network being addressed and infrastructures being provided by the government of their countries, Metaverse cannot be a reality. It means there is going to be a need to investigate what happened to Metaverse and regulation. What happened to Metaverse and governance? What happened to Metaverse and health and medical? In fact, somebody was very blunt yesterday. Somebody went straight to the point. The person asked, how is metaverse even important to this world? So that we don't waste our time investing time and effort on what does not benefit mankind. So the question is metaverse useful to mankind? If there are legal issues in real life, we know how to address them, right? We know how to channel, we know when somebody have infringed on your right, we know when to go to court and when not to. What happened to me? What happened to my avatar in the virtual world? Can my avatar take up a legal litigation? What use is metaverse to machining operation? Of what use is metaverse to construction industry? How can curriculum development affect metaverse, and how can metaverse affect curriculum development? For example, there's a research work that was published in Newcastle upon Tyne University just 2 months ago, where they tried to use metaverse and gaming technology to reshape the training of chemical engineers. And they carried out some experimentation with it, and the paper was published. The paper was titled The Use of Gaming Technology for Chemical Engineering Education. You see? Metaverse and ethics, metaverse and real-time issues, metaverse and trust. This metaverse and technology adoption. We hear of technology acceptance model, we hear of UTAT 1, we have UTAT 2 models. These are all technology adoption models that are geared towards investigating the extent to which people are likely to be open to a new technology, how much more a disruptive technology like metaverse. What happened to metaverse or religion, for example? Will religion prevent certain persons from being open to metaverse? Or will metaverse also water down some people's religion? These are open issues. These are so many things that different researchers are trying to answer, are trying to know. So even after this slide, if you don't understand anything from what I've said, this slide summarizes everything I'm going to say today. We've had it all. Metaverse have taken about 30 years to come by. But what is going to be new and what is new? That is what we are trying to ask ourselves. The timeline development of the concept of metaverse. Tracing from 1992, the snow crash, to 2022 that we are in today, what is going to be new? We've heard of the word Second Life. We've heard of the word virtual life. We've heard of the word virtual world. We've had Roblox. So many nomenclatures and ways and issues have come around this concept of metaverse. 30 years has come and gone. What is going to be the next thing in metaverse? Metaverse statistics and facts. Metaverse market size is already predicted to reach about $800 billion by 2024. JP Morgan, for example, predict that metaverse market size will be worth about $1 trillion. Goldman Sachs predict that metaverse size will be worth between 1 to 12 trillion, though they did not put any time frame. As of 2020, metaverse market was worth $46 billion. And a lab known as Meta Reality Lab segment has invested about $10 billion in the metaverse research. And this workshop was not going to be possible if there is no investment in metaverse research by our institutions here in South Korea. If South Korea is trying to play a leading role in the metaverse usage and technology, we will see that in the next slide. In order to select the articles that were considered for this presentation, we use the Prisma approach. There are various ways we pick our articles, but we try to use the Prisma approach and then a key part of our exclusion criteria is that we did not consider conference papers. We restricted ourselves to journal articles, and at the end of the use of the various key search, metaverse being a prominent key search term, we got about 246 journal articles. And using the exclusion criteria like some of them have metaverse in their title, but the content of the paper, there is no metaverse. Some of them have metaverse as a keyword in their papers, but the paper actually is not about metaverse. Some of them because of the algorithm or because of the algorithm of the website where the papers are hosted, the papers are likely to appear if Metaverse is searched. So at the end of the day, the full studies that were included for this research were 96, while 150 were excluded for various reasons. Of the articles that were downloaded before screening, we had from Web of Science 170 articles, but we excluded 141, and they used only 29 articles. In MDPI, we saw 21 articles, excluded 5 and used 16. In IEEE, as of 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago, because every Metaverse papers are coming out every day. So the caveat here is that whatever statistics I'm showing you is already 2 weeks old. So in IEEE, we have 77 articles. If you use the keyword, if you go to IEEE Explore and type Metaverse, you are going to see 77 articles. Out of 77 articles, we excluded 63, and we only considered 14 qualified to be papers on Metaverse. On Springer, 73 articles, 40 excluded, and 33 were used. On Taylor and Francis, 5 articles, 1 excluded, and 4 was used. This made up the 96 articles that were used for this work. Now, the 96 articles that were taken, we decided to use Investopedia. In Investopedia, we look at the top economies of the world. So the countries that make up the top economies of the world were used to further carry out another search. So for example, if we have Germany, we say Metaverse and Germany research, Metaverse and Korea research. So at the end of the search, we have what you can see. And from this pie chart, you can see that researchers on Metaverse whose affiliation are South Korea are in the larger number. This is very, very understandable, going by the huge investment the South Korean government has put into the Metaverse research. And many institutions and research organizations in Korea are trying to play a key role in Metaverse research. What we found out? Applicable areas of Metaverse, for example, from the research papers, majority of the papers talks about how Metaverse is used for remote education. The next people on the line are Metaverse and manufacturing. Then we have Metaverse for exhibition and museum, Metaverse for medical, Metaverse for transportation, and Metaverse for e-commerce. These are the dominating thematic areas from the published work in existence. Also, some concerns when we look at the concerns raised by papers. Religion, about 8 articles raise the issue of religion. 15 articles talk about management, economics, startups, investment in Metaverse, and the rest of them. Blockchain, game and gaming technology, security and privacy issues. Some authors try to differentiate, some authors try to use the immersive technology. Other than bother themselves about virtual reality or mixed reality, just use a combined word, since we are now on the verge of moving to the next technology. A lot of papers either lump AI, while some persons try to make an effort to separate speech recognition, language processing, image recognition as a research thematic area as far as Metaverse is concerned. In fact, in our lab also, we have a paper on language translation module for Metaverse, which is currently under review. We also identified top 5 universities that are also working hard on Metaverse research. In China, we have the Guangdong University of Technology. In Singapore, in South Korea, we have the KAIST, and as a leading university in Metaverse. We have University College of London and the Simbashi University in Turkey. I will leave this case study because virtually all the speakers before me, in one way or the other, the speaker that talked about manufacturing already talked about NVIDIA Omniverse. My professor already talked about Creativia platform, and KAIST Metaverse Factory for the Future is just the same, is similar to the Metaverse on manufacturing. I will drop these links on the chat box. So what are we trying to say? The workshop, this workshop has, the workshop is aimed at raising research questions, raising research interests, rather than providing a holistic answer to all questions, because you cannot provide answers to all questions for a emerging technology. So if there is anything we are going to take home from all the research we have done, one thing that is common to all the 96 papers that we are taking in the course of this survey is that Metaverse is a journey. And if it is a journey, we are calling on every researcher, every research institution to join in the research, to join in the journey, so that at the end of the day, it shall be a technology that will worth the effort and the boost and the hype around it. In summary, the prominent challenges that were raised or concerns, just like you can see from also the questions people have raised. People have raised the issue of ethics, the issue of psychology, the issue of privacy, and the rest of them. There can be no complete answer to all this. Rather, these issues are meant to trigger further research by everybody. And it simply means that every one of us that attend this workshop, there is something we can do as far as research on Metaverse is concerned. There is no field of study that cannot embark on research with respect to Metaverse. So we look forward to more collaborators. We look forward to receiving your mails on what you are going to be doing on Metaverse after this workshop. Thank you very much.